make your move. It's time to make your move. It's time to make your move.
But yeah, it's pretty insane. Like because they've been doing those studies, but they're not like public.
They don't want us
You have to like search for it.
They don't want us to know.
How to get through this day today. Like every day is a challenge.
I got quite a bit on my plate.
Yeah. It's like I would love to do that, but how would I do that? How do I have anything to do with that?
Facebook. But I did adjust the sound and what I just heard. It fixed it.
Oh, really?
Like the word. Yeah, because look at this. Like before.
We had it turned up too high.
Yeah.
Like my microphone is on some of my mics too.
No, I don't know the actual.
Hey, Meadow, cancel all notifications. I don't know, like I don't hear us talking very good. So maybe that's too low.
I heard us talking real good.
Did you? All right.
Yeah.
Let's go through these things. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. There's some things that I dislike, like constantly talking in my ear. Yeah. So like I'll be talking to somebody in the middle of like directing them or something in the middle of a video, and all of a sudden it's just like in my ear, I was like, "You have a message from Hey." It like interrupts my thoughts and like breaks it, and the other person can't hear it.
Right.
So I'm just standing there talking, I'm doing good, right? And all of a sudden I'm like,
Yep.
like I'm like freezing up.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, sorry. you know,
Sorry, my
explain
glasses.
to them that my glasses are talking to me. That sounds good. Are we ready to do this?
That actually sounds really good. It sounds much better. All right.
Good things.
What up?
What's up, everybody? We are back. It's the Make Your Move podcast. And today we have Boston Howe, and it's Five Ridges Farms, right?
Yes, that's right. Five Ridges Farms.
So welcome, sir. Thanks for
you.
coming on.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me.
It's cold outside.
It is freezing.
What's farming like when it's cold?
Well, I was joking with some guys this morning that I would actually prefer it be about like this because it's it provides us with some poor man's concrete. All of the mud freezes.
Yeah.
And so we're able to stay on top of the
Oh,
ice and
yeah.
stay on top of the frozen ground.
It does make sense.
As soon as it thaws out, it gets pretty muddy pretty quick.
The
But
cow shit
It-
freezes up too, huh?
it does. It does.
That's nice.
You're probably in overalls and all that, though. You know, like when you work that type of job, you know to wear the right shit.
Yeah, you got to dress appropriately. If you don't dress appropriately, it can get miserable pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know the worst thing about winter that I hate and working in it is wearing gloves.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
can't wear
It's. I work with my hands and it's very technical sometimes, and I can't grab shit. I can't grab screws. I can't reach into my pocket and grab like.
Try using a camera. I'm like,
It's
big
so
dumb finger,
annoying.
like trying to press a small button.
Yeah.
You wear gloves out there?
We do. There's some things that we do that are like this morning we were working some cows and we had to give some shots and things like that. So you got to be careful and technical around how many cc's you're giving and getting it in the right spots and all of those different things. So you have to take your gloves off, put them back on, but your hands get pretty cold pretty quick.
How do you control those thousands of pounds of animal?
It's a really great question, and one that folks have asked me. I'll kind of transition that into people ask me about getting started in the cow industry, and a few things that we talk about right off the bat. Number one is you've got to have really good facilities, and if you don't have good facilities, and by facilities I mean places to handle the cattle, to catch them. In that where you did that short little tour with us. I say a short little tour. You probably said the tour took too long, but
No.
we were there for quite a while. But if you don't have good handling facilities, it is a really difficult business to be in.
So basically, when they ask you how to get started, you're like, don't.
No. I would never say
don't get
that.
started.
I would say that you need to love the cows and you need to have really good handling facilities.
It's also, I could be wrong about this. I'm just guessing. It's really not all about the money either. You actually have to love it.
It's a great point, and one that we think about quite often. In this industry, in this side of the country, the beef industry. If you've probably seen a lot of the headlines around beef prices have come up quite a bit. There's a lot of dynamics in the marketplace that are making that happen. Right. Number one, if you were to ask people why. Supply and demand in agriculture. I think ag is one of the purest supply and demands when they aren't being meddled by government or any sort of things like that. It's pretty well supply and demand, export markets, all of those different things. But if we take a step back and we think about beef and why beef prices are high because we have the smallest cow herd in a long, long time, maybe ever.
Oh, really?
In the United States. And there's a variety of reasons for that. Out west, there were some droughts. There's some lower prices because of those droughts and cattle coming onto the market. So there's a smaller beef herd. When smaller beef herds, it takes a long time to finish cattle, right? We talked about that when we were out there. That the cattle that we are harvesting and putting into our steak business, those calves are between 25 and 30 months old. Right? So if we think about that, it takes a long, long time for us to get those beef finished. So if we have a smaller cow herd, but beef demand continues to grow, there's not enough calves coming through the feedlots, coming through the facilities to be harvested to meet that demand. When that happens, prices come up. Right. So to your point, on the eastern side of the United States, Kentucky is actually the largest beef producing state east of the Mississippi River.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. And the average size cow herd here is between 20 to 25 cows is about what that is. And we could get into the economics of how all of those cow herds work and the different ways that people go to market and do those sort of things. But really, in reality, beef producers that do it the same way as everybody else does it. Your bull breeds a cow, your cow has a calf, you take that calf to the stockyards when it's 6, 8 months old, and you sell it. You're really a price taker, right? And in those instances, there are a lot of people that are just trying to break even. Because raising cattle and being out on farms for a lot of folks is a lifestyle choice rather than an actual business choice to make. Because if you sat down and thought about it critically, is this a good business to be in, to have 10 cows or 15 cows? It's pretty tough. That return, we talk a lot about it at my house with my wife, our return on hassle.
Yeah.
And the return on hassle with beef cows is pretty dang low.
Yeah.
I live next to a Black Angus farm.
Yeah.
And he doesn't breed necessarily for the beef.
Uh-huh.
I think he just breeds to be breeding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's working from daylight to dark.
Yeah.
Every day.
It goes back to what I was talking about.
That's
You
a
gotta love
lifestyle
it.
thing.
Day.
It's a lifestyle.
And it's because he enjoys it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You have to love
I
it.
don't think he really.
He wants that to be his life. He don't want to wake up and go,
He
install
literally don't care about
flooring
the money. I
somewhere or
don't
something.
think. You know, I think his house is paid. It's a.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares about the money.
I
think he actually likes it.
I have a working theory that part of the reason why prices aren't going up or why they're not being able to be sustained long term, we'll see if they are, but right now it looks like they will be. But part of the reason is because people are willing to do it at break even. And if you're willing to do it at break even or even lose a little money to be involved in the lifestyle, we thought about that across other industries. There's nobody that is roofing for free, right? But there's a lot of people that are farming for free.
Now, you say for free. Does this also count the fact that they're on the farm, they're living there, their house, their food, their bills are paid?
Yeah, I'm really just talking
which
about
are minimal.
Yeah, I'm really
Which are
talking about
farm.
just the enterprise
Yeah.
of the beef cattle.
Yeah.
Right, that enterprise itself. So
It takes a lot to become a millionaire in that.
yes, it does.
A lot
Yes, it does.
of
A lot. A
cattle.
lot of times, the appreciation in real estate is what builds balance sheets for farmers.
So we hopped right into a lot of like what you're doing right now. For the viewers at home, tell them who you are.
Yeah.
Tell them about the business. Tell them about the farm. Give us that. Give me that story you gave me at the cafe.
Sure.
I love that. Let's hear
Yeah.
it.
So Five Ridges
Should we
Farms.
turn that off, or should we let it go?
I'll tell you in just a moment.
All right.
So, Five Ridges Farms, the entity itself, Five Ridges Farms, is really just our steak brand, our steak and beef brand that we're working on.
Yeah.
So that started a couple years ago. We just launched our website about 6 months ago to sell direct-to-consumer steaks that we're raising off of our family farms. My family farm that you visited has been in our family since 1837, all in the same place. My children, who are there quite often, are the 8th generation that have been on that farm. My grandfather, who's probably the most influential person in all of what we're doing, he was actually born on the farm that we own now.
Yeah.
Right? So he passed away about a year ago, and a lot of the things that I do on the farms are around kind of being with him when I was younger, and developed that love for being out there, being on the real estate, being out on those farms. So it's been in our family for a long time. My wife and I purchased it from my family, my mother and father. We purchased it in 2023.
Yeah.
When we did that, we started thinking about what are the next steps for us. We have a cow-calf operation. That cow-calf operation is working well. What are the next steps that we can take? And one of those steps was finishing our cattle all the way to the point where they're ready to be harvested and made into beef that you would see at a restaurant, beef that you would see on your table in your freezer. So we made that choice. But again, as we talked about a little bit earlier, it takes a long time to get there.
Right.
When you make a choice to breed a cow and you're going to harvest that calf, you're 3 years away, essentially. from
Now,
being able to do
you
that.
guys do Wagyu, right?
Yes. So it's
Can you
American
explain
Wagyu.
to people the difference? And I think that affects the time, don't it, too?
Absolutely, it does. Yes.
Do you massage your cows?
Yeah, that's a great question, and the same question we get a lot of times. The next one is, do you feed them beer? Right?
Do they
Because-
sleep on mattresses?
Well, they should, as much as they cost. I might as well just put them out there with mattresses on, and move them into my basement. Some of them. But yeah, we do American Wagyu, and what that really means is you take a commercial cow, and what I mean by a commercial cow is she is really a composite. The way that we have done it is we crossbreed cows to create the desirable traits in a cow that we want. Right?
Yeah.
So we may take a black Angus cow, we may breed her to a Hereford bull, so a black cow to a red with a white face, and what we're creating there is we're taking some maternal instincts from one breed, we're taking some growth from another breed, and we're combining those, and interestingly, the colors actually do combine as well, so it'll pop out like a black with a white face cow. And what we find, and this is common across all of the beef industry, if you're not into purebred stuff, when you crossbreed those, it's called hybrid vigor. And that hybrid vigor actually creates a better cow.
Yeah.
And we can do that through genetic selection using partnerships. We were breeding cows this morning. We have a partnership with Genetics Plus, Mr. David McLaughlin. He has a business where he comes in and he does consulting work on, this is your cow herd. Where are you trying to go with that cow herd? Let's do some strategic breeding to make that calf the way you want to make it.
Yeah.
So we take that commercial composite cow and we breed them to purebred Wagyu bulls. And so those calves are 50% Wagyu and they're 50% commercial cow. Almost all of them are black cows, black calves that come out of there. And then we take those and we'll take them from the time they're born all the way to finish right there on our farms in Dry Ridge. So,
Nice.
I don't like Wagyu.
okay.
And I know it's like the market price is the highest of meats
Yeah.
that you can get.
Yeah.
I never understood it
Yeah.
because when I eat a steak, I want that shit to be meaty.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I've noticed about Wagyu is it's like very marbled with fat.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
So
kind of like,
you're,
I wouldn't say chewy,
you're
but
probably comparing that to a full blood Wagyu breed. So
possibly.
yeah, so when you have a full blood calf, so it's 100% Wagyu, where ours is 50%. That 100% does get a lot of that intermuscular fat. Marbling is what that's referred to. And that the Wagyu breed actually has a different kind of fat profile that makes it tastier. But it also has a little bit of a buttery taste, and it gets a little bit of a film, right? You probably
The
felt
taste
that.
is great.
Yes.
It's the texture.
Right.
So I'm not used to.
So that is because you're probably eating a full blood calf that has most of that marbling.
From Jeff
in it.
Ruby's.
Yes. So that's exactly right. So ours, we take the marbling side. We were talking about the strategic mating, right? We take the marbling side of a Wagyu. We take the growth and the maternal instincts of the commercial cow, and we combine those to create a calf that has the marbling. It's not as much marbling as the full blood would be, but that calf is going to be more marbled than one that would be not that
Pure
would not
Angus.
have any Wagyu in it. But it also is going to grow faster than a full blood Wagyu.
Yep.
Because of the commercial cow. So it's really what we're trying to do is create the best of both worlds. We want all of the marbling, but we want all of the growth, because the growth side and creating these bigger carcasses, the longer it takes us to get there, the more money it costs to get
Yeah.
there.
It's
Yeah.
like a holding cost of real estate.
Exactly. Exactly right. I actually think this industry, when we're talking about the Wagyu side and finishing these cattle, and it takes longer than a normal calf would take, it's a little bit like the bourbon industry. That we've got to create.
Age it.
We create it and we age it, right? And you've got a carrying cost until you can get to that point. The longer it ages, what happens with bourbon? It gets more expensive, right?
Yeah, right.
It does get better.
Exactly. So same thing happens with Wagyu. That Wagyu steak on the Jeff Ruby's menu was a lot more expensive than the normal steak that was on the menu.
For sure.
Why? It took longer to get there, right?
It's crazy
so
because
it's a different quality. And
Restaurants
what
like
we're trying
that,
to
they
do.
don't even put the price.
Market, right?
Market.
MKT.
Yeah,
That's
that-
usually a sign that it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, and it's by the ounce.
Yeah,
Market by the ounce.
that's right. That's right.
So it's not like you're getting here's you a steak. It's like, here's a weighed out portion of meat that you order.
Right.
I want 3 ounces of this. Okay, it's $65 an ounce. So it's literally like 2 bites for $65. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So again,
Pisses me off.
so what we have done is we've taken that kind of market, right? We're bringing it down into crossbreeding those cows, and we can create a lot of that really good marbling. Not as much as you're saying that kind of changes the profile, but it actually becomes really tasty. We can get it there quicker, which makes it much more economical for our customers to buy it.
I'm sure it's really
So
good
it does
burger.
affect the taste too, the hybrid.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
So
We're
he
taking
needs
that-
to try one of yours then.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
I bet the burger is really good.
The burger is awesome. The burger is awesome.
Because
So,
you want that fat profile in a burger, because that's gives
Yeah.
you that grease.
right,
Give me the grease.
right, right. So another thing with the full blood Wagyus, and I'm not harping on those guys. They're doing it right. They're doing it really well. We sell some full blood calves. We sold one just recently, and it will be awesome.
Yeah.
It's a different profile, right? The other thing with the full bloods is because there's so much fat content in the meat, when you harvest a calf, about half of what comes out of that carcass is going to be ground beef.
Yeah.
And if you've got a really high fat profile in that meat, your ground beef can be really fatty. And when you go to sear that down to make tacos, to make spaghetti, to make all of that, you're gonna cook off a lot of fat in those. Where our calves, because they are not as marbled, they're still very marbled. The burger, to your point, is awesome, and it will not shrink down as much when you're buying those.
What's the price difference between a full blood Angus price wise versus yours that are
Great
half
question.
breeds?
Great question. So we do a few different ways of pricing these things. So
Let's just say a pound of burger. What's just average?
yeah, so through our website today, a pound of burger is $8.25.
Okay.
And you compare that to probably what the market price is at the grocery store, What you've got to be really careful of is that we are not comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That was going to be my next question. What's the difference between these?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is-
So-
you're
Let him
about-
say the price first, damn it.
Yeah. Again,
he wants to sell you. He wants to give you all the value first, then sell you.
Well, the
price.
thing is, it's like, just like you said, it's not apples to apples there.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because I almost refuse to buy meat from a store,
yeah.
literally.
Yeah. It
Especially
so
chicken.
We do this exercise quite often, and we'll talk to people about, well, we think that's probably priced a little high, right? When we're thinking about those steaks. But again, think about more about what we talked about, that it takes longer to get there. You know, there's a lot of thoughtfulness that goes into getting this calf all the way there. It's a little bit like you've got a Cadillac sitting next to a Suburban, and you go, I want to buy the Cadillac for the Suburban prices.
So you're saying the stuff that's on the shelf at the grocery store has not had a long life. They're
Well, I don't know exactly about that specific calf that's there, but
tell me
I
the difference
think about,
between the meat there and what you're going to make.
yeah. So the commodity.
Why
kind of-
should we come to your website and buy our meat versus just going to Kroger?
I don't think
Yeah.
$8 is that much. If you think
Doesn't
about
sound
it,
like
these
that much
fucking
to me.
people are going out and getting a burger at Ford's Garage for $19.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
quarter pound.
It's very price competitive. I mean, we've been very strategic about that. We monitor all the time what prices look like at other places that are creating these American Wagyu calves and selling steaks through websites and things like that. We're very thoughtful about making sure that we're priced to market and even then cheaper than market to make sure that our folks are getting value for that. But back to your question around what is at the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Let's throw them under the bus.
I don't know.
That's a great
I don't
question.
know.
Right?
That's a great question.
That's
You
the
don't
point,
know.
right? Is you don't necessarily know. That calf could have come from, if we think about the life cycle of a commodity calf that comes to your grocery store, a lot of times those calves are raised, let's say they're raised on farms in Kentucky, just for instance, right? Going to be 2 or 3 that all weigh the same, that are sold the same. They'll go into a group of calves that grow up to be 800-900 pounds around central Kentucky. They'll do that. Then they'll be shipped west to a feedlot, say in Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, something around there. They'll go into a mass feedlot, be 50, 60,000, could be 100,000 head that are in that feedlot. Yeah. Then it's all about efficiency. How quickly can we grow that calf to the point where we want to harvest it, right? It is then harvested at a big facility. It's cut, it's packaged, it's shipped back to your grocery store. There's very little transparency that comes through that process, right? Once that calf leaves the farm here, we have no idea where it could go. Well, and I'm not throwing those guys under the bus. The way that they handle cattle, the way that they take care of them, it's all way above board. They're doing the right things. What I would say the difference in ours is you saw a calf that had been born there, and you saw the calves that were ready to go to market, right? They're all born right here. The transparency of how we're doing things.
Are you sure they're doing the right thing?
Yes, I am. I've worked in the.
The numbers don't add up. All right.
I've worked in ag finance my entire career, and I worked in the beef cattle sector, and we did a lot of lending to large operations, and those guys are taking care of their cattle. They're doing the right things. It is just a different model than what we're doing, right? They're trying to get beef out as
What about when
quickly
they're
as possible.
processing this? Are they adding shit to it?
So
Yeah,
no,
to keep it preserved.
Well,
to
here's
get
the
to
deal.
The grocery store.
I was looking up some numbers last week.
This man's he's conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
He's about to kill
With
you.
meat.
Yeah.
With meat, yes.
Yeah.
How's there enough of it?
How
You're
is
gonna get
there enough? Because I was looking up numbers like 19 trillion metric tons a year. That's just consumed in America, not any other country. And I was looking up like the world volume of beef per year, and it was like 17 million metric tons. So it's like, where's the other 2 million tons coming from? Where is that fillers? Is that, I mean, because
They're shipping it in from China.
well, no, this is world numbers produced. versus American consumption.
Oh, okay.
So this is just American consumption, not the world consumption, but it's world volume that's
Yeah,
being produced. So
I,
it's
I'm
like
not 100% sure how those numbers get calculated. But the point from earlier about beef demand continues to rise as our numbers are not rising. They're pretty well stagnant and even getting lower in some instances. So as demand rises, the price for those things is getting more and more expensive. That's what we're seeing at the grocery store now.
are there fillers though?
I'm not going to say that there aren't fillers in some instances.
I mean, is there a such thing? Is what I'm asking. Is there a such thing as a meat producer filling it with, say, fat from this or water weight, or to make it a pound, to make a 3/4 pound a pound?
I can't speak for everybody. I don't know. But I do know that there are some instances where, like with ground beef, for instance, you mentioned ground beef earlier. I do know there are instances where they do mix calves together, meat together, to make certain percentages of fat content in that ground beef. So if you've got, for instance, let's say the full blood Wagyu's got a lot of fat in it, right? Well, we need to add some lean beef to that to make that more closer to what folks are going to want to eat. They may add a leaner calf to that to make that way. I can't speak for everybody about what's happening there. I do know locally, and there are a lot of really good local beef folks, not just what we're doing. There are a lot of good people that are doing what we do, not necessarily on the American Wagyu, although there are some, but just regular guys that are doing this sort of thing. I could name 4 or 5 right now. I know they aren't doing that, right? And we aren't doing that.
I don't think small farm. I'm talking about mass production farms.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's in it for the money, not in it for the love.
It's possible.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's possible.
It just, I don't know, because beef doesn't taste the same as it used to.
Yeah. Well,
That's
ours is all done in a
That's the
USDA inspected facilities. We do not mix any of the ground beef together to get to different profiles. If you were to buy ground beef from us, it comes from one calf. We can
That's
trace
neat.
all of that back exactly where it came
And
from.
and that calf has been within a 5-mile radius. I remember you telling me.
Yeah.
So they also lease farms around them to
So
for their
I'll talk a
operations.
little bit about that. And so we own and lease approximately 700 acres that we operate over. We've got a cow herd that calves in the fall. We've got a cow herd that calves in the springtime, and we'll sort those calves and put them into our facilities. And then we do not finish all of the calves that we produce. We've got some really great partnerships that we have put together over time that buy a lot of our calves and then do a little bit of what we do, and they come into restaurants, they go into grocery stores, that sort of thing. It's really branded for their farms, as it should be. We're selling them kind of the picks and the shovels of that. We're selling them the calves as weanlings, and then they're taking them from there and finishing those. But that's happening around town too. We're very, very grateful for those partnerships, and without those partnerships, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
How many head of cattle you have?
So we've got about 125 mama cows, and then then in our finished production, we have calves really in every stage. So we've got calves that are ready to finish. We've got calves that are kind of in that intermediary from about 700 to 1,100 pounds ish, and then we've got a group of calves that just got weaned that will be 600 to 700 pounds. So as we move cattle around, we are very strategic about how we feed them. He saw that we've got grow lots and we've got finish lots. And what we do is they're not in confinement, okay? These calves are out on grass in about a 5 acre pastures, each one of these groups. And then they have a self-feeder that sits up there by the gate, right? Yeah. And we have a feed truck driver that comes in. He will pour feed into those feeders, and the calves are free choice on grain and grass. So we work with some nutritionists to build out the different rations that go into each one of those, because in the smaller pens, we're wanting those calves to grow. We don't want them to get fat really quickly because there's not a large enough carcass for that to happen. So we want them to grow. Our feed rations there are designed to help those calves grow and build frame. Once they get to that certain level, that 1,100 pound range, we're going to put them into the finish lots, where then we're bumping up those rations to try to build in a lot of that flavor and muscle and all of those sort of things to get those calves closer to that 1,500 pound range which is where we're trying to get to. But
What's usable out of that?
so yeah, great question. So the way that if we were to calculate how much meat am I going to get if I buy a calf that weighs 1,500 pounds? Because we sell a lot of bulk halves, wholes, and quarters. So a customer can call in and say, I want to buy half a cow. How does this thing work? If you were to buy a whole cow, this is exactly how it works. So let's say that the calf weighs 1,500 pounds, okay? The carcass weight, the hanging weight, is going to be about 2/3 of that number, okay? So you can really extrapolate that over any size beef. If it's going to be, really if it gets above 1,800 pounds, there's a lot more fat that comes off, so the percentages don't work well. But at 1,500 pounds, it's about 1,000-pound hanging weight, right? And then of that hanging weight, when you go down to processing that into the individual cuts of steaks or burger and all of that, it's about 2/3 again. So you can do that math and really go backwards and figure that out pretty quickly. But what we like to say is it's about you'll get around 500 pounds of meat out of that 1,500 pound. That's just very round numbers. Each carcass is different.
It's a lot of meat.
It's a ton. Well, not literally a ton. It's a quarter of a ton, I guess.
It's a lot of.
Yeah, it is. And really, so one of the things that my wife has done, my wife is very involved in the meat side of this thing, in the beef side, selling the steaks. She had a fantastic idea that a lot of when we're out talking to folks about buying a quarter, buying a half, buying a whole, the number one objection is I don't have freezer space for that.
Right.
Because that is a humongous freezer that you're going to have. It can almost feel overwhelming. I mean, I can show you pictures of what those freezers look. They're packed full. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So what she came up with was quarter subscriptions. Yeah. So instead of having to have a freezer, you can buy a quarter of a beef. We'll store it for you and then ship that to you in prearranged boxes every 60 days, 45 days, whatever the cadence is that someone wants.
So a great idea.
That was very smart of her.
Yes. Well, she's brilliant, and she's fantastic. She's a veterinarian and does a wonderful job as a veterinarian and a mother and a wife. She's incredible.
That's awesome.
So she's a veterinarian.
She is.
She does it around the farm?
Well, she's a small animal veterinarian.
So no.
If I have problems on the farm, a lot of times she says you need to call a vet, and I'm like, well,
That's why I married you.
Right. No, she's wonderful. And she came up with that idea, and she does all of our website stuff. She does all of the customer service side, all of those sort of things, and shipping those things.
See, so that's like what I'm like as a consumer completely interested in is this side of it. What you're talking about, the packaging and all that. And that's what I was going to get at. Like, my wife and I have never thought of like even ordering, beef from a farm or anything. We're just ingrained into this thing of go to the grocery store. So for somebody for the first time, we know now that obviously the quality of the beef is a lot better through you guys. You're priced to make sure it's affordable, but it's probably not like dirt cheap.
Correct.
Tell us about like if I was for the first time to get on your website, what am I going to see? How am I going to order this? Like I have literally no idea what I'm getting into. Like if I'm like, hey, I want to have some steaks and some hamburger, well, like just break that down for me.
Yeah. So the website is fiveridgesfarms.com, and if you go there, it will really lay out all of the options that you have to buy. So we've put together like some sampler boxes, for instance, where someone can buy a sampler box. There's 2 or 3 or 4 meals that will be in that sampler box. We'll package that. We ship it directly to you. If you
you have steaks packaged in there, prepackaged
individually.
What about like hamburger? How does it come? Like
1 pound packages.
Okay, 1 pound. Okay,
Yep,
got it.
and it's all frozen. It's all vacuum sealed and frozen, coming directly from the USDA inspected facilities.
Got it.
Yep. So and if one of the cool things that we've been doing too is if you get a half or a whole, you can do your own cut sheet. And what that means is you have a sheet of paper in front of you and you're dictating, do I want my steaks cut 1 inch? Do I want them cut 1.5 inches? Do I want a whole tenderloin? Do I want it cut into fillets? how do I want all of these things done? And you can be really creative and
Yeah.
and do those sorts of
But
things.
if you're a
which is lot of
complete
fun.
idiot, you don't have to do that.
We've
You
got our own
just-
cut sheets.
You got to figure it.
You guys just cook it for me, damn it, and just
Yeah.
ship it to
Yeah.
me.
That's right.
Now who's going to cook it? Tell me.
Right. Well, that's the other fellow, right? Right. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's exactly right.
So I just
and
looked up the
unfortunately,
average price of a pound of burgers between $5.75 and $7.
Yeah.
So being 8, you said 8?
eight and a quarter.
Definitely worth it.
I mean,
We're talking a few
it's-
bucks,
it's not knowing what you're getting versus knowing what you're getting for an extra $1.25.
and it's really good.
That's right. From local farms.
local.
We'll show you around. I mean,
Because what's in our head right now is I know it's got to be less expensive than going out to eat all the time.
100% it is.
So like me and my wife are like kind of tossing this idea like, do we order in packaged meat and order in stuff and then literally hire a cook to come in our house once a week or whatever and make pre-made meals or whatever? Like we're really considering that, like cost effectiveness. Is this going to be about the same as what we're spending on DoorDash and somebody bringing me garbage
absolutely.
from?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you were to I'm just going to continue to use kind of the half for whole beef kind of model. So the pricing on that will work out to be over everything, right? Between $12 and $13 a pound.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is what we should be doing.
Yeah, and now when you go in to buy the individual boxes or anything like that, it's priced a little bit differently, just because we've got a lot of the logistics that come into the single package,
There's a lot more involved.
all of
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. There's more margin that we have to build in there to maintain our own.
It's still
profit
cheaper
margins.
than not knowing what you're getting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then like
That's
tip,
the thing.
like if you go out to the grocery store, that's one thing. It's time, and then there's the cooking of it. It's more time, and it's a ton of time. Like women in the past did not get their due for all the work that they did at home, like cooking 3 meals a day and all that, and like going to the grocery store, shopping and all that. And I watched my wife. She's like a business professional, so she just does not have the time to do any of that.
Right.
I watch her. She does like a 9-to-5 job, and then she works for me. We just don't have that time. So now we're kind of forced into always eating out, always ordering DoorDash.
Yep.
I'm really starting to think now we could be eating better, healthier for the same price, probably, like ordering in, like you
What
said,
you're- what
getting
you're
a
kinda
freezer.
saying, like, I'm going to bring up this Campbell soup thing that
Yeah.
that just happened. So, people with money don't eat store-bought food. They have chefs.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why. It's because they know what they're eating, and they want to take care of their health.
And they know what's at the store.
Yeah, and they
can.
know because it's for fucking poor people. The guy literally said it. This is fucking for poor people. This is
Well, I
terrible
mean, we
food.
always know that.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
like
so it's
people
like,
who are poor are eating, box dinners, which are not good for
and
you.
they all
They're
have
eating canned.
they all have
stuff
health
that's-
problems, man.
I do love ramen noodles though.
I really do too.
Specifically, the brand, the ramen brand,
I
is
really
very
do
bad
too.
for you.
And so it's like, is it going to probably cost a little bit more? Maybe, but what is the cost for your health at the end of the day?
Well, I'm just saying I'm tapped out at this point with the damn DoorDash. I need it to be close to the same.
Yeah.
Part
of the
But I understand what you're saying, 1,000%. Give up something else to take care of that.
Yeah.
Probably.
One of the
hard.
things that
It's
our folks have enjoyed, that our customers have enjoyed, is because they're frozen and packaged individually.
Yes.
You can do a lot of meal planning with them.
That's what I was getting at. And that's why I wanted you to tell them that about because I seen the video. I already knew. She's got a steak packaged, sealed in there. I see that and I'm like, you know what? That's so well put together. They're making it so easy. I might actually bust the grill out and cook it myself.
Yeah.
Like I might actually
And the thing is with
buy a
that-
nice grill, and that's the only way I cook. It's
Yeah.
like it's got to be a
cooked
grill.
beef
Yeah.
will last a week,
Yeah.
approximately, in the fridge. Yeah, you can probably cook like 8 to 10 steaks
Yeah.
and slice them that day, make some rice or potatoes,
Yeah.
whatever, and just put it in a meal planner, and then you'll have food for the whole family for a
Right.
week. You just got to
Exactly.
cook one
And
day.
if it comes prepackaged and frozen, that will stay good in the freezer for really, a year
Yeah.
and a half. So, the folks that have been repeat buyers of halves or wholes, they really buy once a year. They'll eat through all of that, and then they'll come back and they'll restock their refrigerator again, or they'll restock their freezer.
So tell me this: let's say your business starts taking off because of this awesome podcast we're doing on for you, and you get an increase. You were talking about supply and demand.
Yeah.
Now, if you feel like that you need more cows, do you just like bring in more cows to your pastures and just start breeding more? Is it just because you're saying there's a high demand, but there's a low herd count? Is that mostly just due to the droughts in the West, or can you just like crank up production by?
Well, you cannot crank up production overnight.
Right. You got to do breeding, and
not in
obviously
the way that we are doing this by using our own calves. Right now, we have purchased in some cattle. I'm not gonna act like it is that our herd is a closed herd. We do buy genetics and bring those in from other farmers that are doing a really good job, and we'll bring those cows in and add them to our herd for the genetic diversities, and those we buy our bulls. Those come in, but we are set up well enough that we have excess calves that we're selling to our partners, right?
Yeah.
That have been amazing partners over the years. We can sell those to them, right? And they have been awesome about, as long as it fits the program, they're going to take it. Now, there are some calves that don't fit the program. They go into our stuff. So what we can do if we grow, right, is we can finish more of our own cattle rather than going down the weaned calf market with them. Now, I do not want to get to the point where we're cutting off our partners. You know, they still have the need for our weaned calves, and we're going to continue to give that. But if we needed to double the capacity of what we are finishing, we could do that pretty easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll take additional facilities. Right now, those pens that we were talking about, those pastures, we don't want to overcrowd them because then it starts having an adverse effect to the real
And
estate.
that's what I was wondering too. You said 700 acres. Like, how many cows is too much for 700 acres?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
When you were there, I talked a lot about the way that we think about sustainability of the real estate. Right. It's really important to me that these farms are not overgrazed. These farms are in really good shape. They're not making any more of this real estate, right? And we've got tremendous landlords. They've been amazing to work with. Really given me opportunities to expand our cow herd, and have been really great to work with. But we want, in like kind, to take care of their farms. Right? Yeah. So we do not overgraze these things. We're probably understocked at a lot of the rented places, and we're probably overstocked a little bit on our own farm because that's where we're doing all of the finishing. So additionally, if we were to grow, we would probably need to put in some sort of facilities around feed barns and that sort of thing, so we can be a little bit more strategic about not beating up the real estate as bad.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting stuff.
There's a lot that goes into it.
I think that we're gonna definitely become a customer of you. I really want to try it out for sure. I think that just number one, like Richie was touching on, we don't really know what we're eating out at restaurants, and like all my kids and myself are all into working out. My son is like a basketball athlete, and he's working out all the time. We want to make sure we're getting protein and like putting in the right ingredients to make ourselves grow better.
Yeah.
Right. So that's been like a huge concern for me as a dad, really thinking about that. Like, is he like, I'm watching this kid, he's trying to become a D1 athlete and he's eating chicken nuggets,
right?
Or he's eating, chicken fingers from here or there. And it's like, man, like he loves steak. He'll eat steak. And it's just like, man, I want to get you more steak rather than these chicken fingers. So I think that, just looking at the numbers there, something that we might try
so one of the
out.
things that I've learned through this process too is that everyone thinks when they think of steak, they think of filet mignon, they think of a ribeye, they think of a New York strip.
Yeah.
Right. Well, one of the things that we have been really strategic about, and you've seen my wife's marketing on this we're highlighting other cuts that aren't as expensive, right? So maybe a chuck eye steak, a Denver steak. Round steaks, those sort of things that aren't necessarily at top of mind.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if we thaw a chuck eye steak and we put it in a cast iron skillet and we slice it and put it in front of our children, they pick it up as quick or quicker if I put a $60 fillet in front of them.
Yeah. So what's the actual difference there between these?
Where it comes from on the carcass.
Okay.
Right?
So there's going to be
are-
a taste difference, or
There
more,
can be.
more
There can be.
used muscles versus less used muscles.
Exactly.
Makes it softer, more tender.
Right.
Got it.
Right, right. And part of when we're thinking about not having our cattle in confinement, they're out on grass and they're able to walk up and down. Our farms are pretty hilly, as you've noticed.
Yeah.
They're walking up and down hills. They're going to all these. They're actually building muscle.
Is that a strategic part of this?
Well-
is that why Kentucky's awesome? We got all these hills, so our beef's better because they're out there working out all day.
Well, maybe that's a little bit of my own spin on that, but I believe that being out on pasture with free choice grass and grain,
Yeah.
the ability for these cattle to walk around, go see things. You know, we got one that gets out and goes to my neighbors every now and then. We'll bring him back,
Yeah.
after he goes over there and messes around for a while. But I really believe that the quality of life for these cattle matters in the quality of product that comes out at the end. I really believe that. I don't know if there are any numbers to back that up.
And
but-
that's what's awesome
Same things
about.
with humans. I know we don't eat humans, but it's like quality of life matters with your health.
yeah.
And I think that helps. Like, that's part of the branding of the business too. It's like you guys actually care about it. Like, I've been out there, and just for the audience, like, you spit this stuff out because it's your day in, day out. But when he's saying like free choice, he basically, they have stations around the farm where the cows can come up and eat grain where it's provided.
Yes.
Or they have the free choice of just eating grass like a normal
That's
cow
correct.
out there.
That's correct.
So that's like an event. That's additional stuff that he's doing because he cares about the farm. And then also you have water stations, right, to keep
Yes.
them from eating or drinking out of ponds that are dirty and stuff like that. So you have them on city water out there as well.
So all of our all of the finish lots and all of the grow lots and everything like that, those cattle have access to city water. It's the same water that if you turn on the faucet,
Yeah.
they're getting that there. We've seen actual health bumps in these cattle that have access to that water, that clean, cool water,
Yeah.
rather than drinking out of ponds or drinking out of creeks or anything like that can be contaminated with whatever.
Right.
But the other part of that, when we go back to the sustainability on the real estate side, is by fencing off some of these creeks, fencing off some of these things, it actually, from the environment standpoint, the sustainability environment of our waterways on these farms, we see wildlife, we see all of these different things that are sprucing up there because we're keeping the cattle out. So for the first time, my wife and family, we were down at the creeks, and when I was a kid, I can remember catching crawdads out of the creek, right? And then we started ramping up on the cattle, and the cattle would stand down in the creek when it's hot. We didn't see them as much as the cattle herd grew and they were drinking out of those. We fenced it off last year. Right? We fenced that creek completely off. It's a mile of creek that goes down to the bottom. We didn't drive all the way down there to see that, but there's about a mile down there. We fenced all of that off. The cattle can't be there anymore.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see now all the little fish, all the little crawdads, all of the things that are happening on those creek banks. It's really neat to see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell like you love that farm life, like you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Like you
Yeah.
love the life of it. And look, when I got to go out there and tour it, I mean, I had a great time. It was raining, and I know he was like, "Oh man, it's such a bad day," and I know you guys were bored, but I loved it. I thought that I told you, like, even in the rain, this stuff's beautiful. I mean, it's part of it.
Yeah.
You have employees?
Yeah, great question. So, no, we don't. I have been an unbelievable beneficiary of goodwill, and that starts with my grandfather, and have him providing me with a couple cows to put on his farm, and those things grow. My dad, my mom, both of them have been incredibly gracious with their time and energy and money. My dad owned the farm before I did. I got my start in the cattle business because he helped me buy a little group of heifers.
Yeah.
Right, a little group of young female cows, and it's just kind of grown from there. Right. This morning, we're breeding cows this morning. Standing there next to me is my uncle and my neighbor. Right. And those guys are there because they're supporting our farms. They like being out there too. Don't let them, they like to whine about it and everything like that. But
it's not like the neighbor's like, "Oh man, he wants to be out there.
Yeah,
that's why he's in there.
that we are incredibly lucky to have a surrounding cast that has been very supportive of our vision, has been supportive of our business. We've got other family and friends that, they may not be involved in the daily operations of the farm, but the first time that we've got beef for sale, they're in line buying it, right? And they're telling their friends about it, and they're doing that word of mouth.
Right.
So it's not just the
amazing.
support on the labor side, but we get support from the business side, all of those things. Incredibly lucky, incredibly grateful to be surrounded by people that want to be a part of that, right?
So
And I
you
think,
guys build the boxes and everything yourselves?
so we have all of the when an order comes in, we're packing all of that stuff.
You?
Yes, my wife and I. My
my
wife
wife.
comes home from the vet clinic.
Holy cow, dude.
She's packing that
Literally.
stuff up.
He has a 9 to 5 as well.
Yeah.
On top of this.
No
Yeah,
way.
This is not my full-time job. No, I work in ag finance.
I want to make it his full-time job though.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
dude, you're
I work,
busy.
I work in ag finance. Again, I can do what I do because I'm surrounded by people that allow for that to happen. If I was trying to do this on my own, it would be impossible. But my uncle, my neighbors, my uncle specifically, he retired from a job, came home, and he probably thought he was going to sit around and live the good life. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, would you like to help me feed cows? And he's been awesome about coming out there and doing that. My dad's an attorney. He is out there with us all weekend, every weekend.
It's
doing
honestly
all
a
those
getaway,
things.
I bet. Just to hop on a side-by-side and go around
Yeah.
and take care of these small tasks out there in a nice... Oh, he took us all the way out to... He took us way back on this farm, and we came out, and it was Williamstown Lake where we had the boat parked, and we shot that. Remember we saw the cows?
Stop.
Yes.
Wait a fucking minute. That's your farm that
Well, that's one of our leased farms.
that nobody will fucking sell?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I was literally saying on the bell, I was like, this fucking guy has all this fucking land and he won't sell it.
I was telling him that
And
we were
that's-
talking about it.
that's-
I flew
We
the
don't own that farm.
That's
I flew
crazy.
the drone like over his boat,
we see
and then
your
it goes
cows.
right over that pasture. There's like cows out there right
Yeah.
over to the lake. So
Yeah.
That's
So
the
that-
last parcel on the damn lake.
It's a pretty special place, and that's again, we get to be a part of those places because landlords have said yes, we'll allow you to graze cattle here, and part of that is the reputation of how we've taken care of things. Also, our family's reputation of taking care of things and being good stewards of that.
That
But
spot is awesome, man.
but yeah,
I
it's,
remember a couple years ago I pulled up on the boat and your cows were in the lake.
those probably weren't mine. We just leased it a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. There was cows in the lake.
Yeah.
Cooling off. I'm like, look at those cows.
Yeah,
out there.
we
They're
have
just having a
there's,
great
there's a
time.
funny story. One of our neighbors that we have up there, he said my bull kept getting out, and he was going over to breed the other cows on the other side of the farm with another guy's cows.
yeah.
And he said, we have no idea how he's getting
Crosses the
over
lake.
there. He was swimming out into the lake and around the fences
around?
and coming and going over to the other cows.
I didn't know cows
There's a
were good
will,
swimmers.
there's a way.
I mean, he was.
Cows are
he
good
was,
swimmers.
He was excited about going over
I was
there.
worried about this when I put my pond in because the guy next door.
Yeah.
I was worried. I'm like, what if these fucking cows come over here?
They will. They'll
and-
swim.
And drowned in my pond.
Yeah.
And it's going to be my fault. So I started looking it up. Cows are like some of the best swimmers. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
they're like
they're-
buffalo.
They're pretty crazy.
They probably hold a lot of air.
I was like,
not
I
go
was
down.
really intrigued by that. I'm like, well, shit, I guess I don't have anything to worry about. Because I kept seeing cow prints around my pond. Because his get out all the time, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we pretty well keep cows out. They're, I was thinking about some of the stories and people that have supported us. My brother, again, has supported us quite a bit, too. He lives on the farm, in the family farmhouse that's been there for hundreds of years. And every now and then we'll have some cows out. When I say every now and then, I mean pretty often. And I called him one night, and I said, hey, I just got a phone call from somebody that said there's a cow out on Independence Pike. Will you go take a look? And he said, yeah, I'll go out there. He works, he's an attorney also, so he's like, I don't really want to do this, but I'll do it. He's a good guy. So he drives out there and he calls me and he says, it's raining. I don't know. And I said, well, can you see the calf? And he said, no, I can't see it. I'll drive around a little bit more. I called him back. He said, I can't see it. There's a damn tornado warning, and I can't see anything out here. And I'm like, well, go back to the house. I didn't realize there was a tornado warning. He was out there regardless, looking for this calf and doing all those sorts of things. But We've got all kinds of stories about cows being out and doing those sorts of things. He put a bull in this summer and was talking to the neighbor, and he said, I put the bull in, everything's fine. And right over his shoulder, the bull was out again, standing in the middle of the road. So they have to go put him back in. But there's all kinds of stuff like that again, I could not do what I do without the family support, friends and family support of these farms.
That's awesome, man.
Very interesting stuff. I love it, and I like both sides of it, the whole farm side of it, the marketing side of it. And it's really
There's
cool.
a lot that goes into it, man.
If Josh is watching, thanks for introducing us to Boston.
Yeah, I appreciate
Great,
being here.
inviting him out.
I
for
wish
sure.
Josh was here to do spirit animals, but I guess we got to try to make fun of him and do the voice. Spirit animals.
That was pretty good.
Was it?
Have you heard of spirit animals?
I watched one of your or a couple of your podcasts.
Oh,
and I know
okay.
that,
This
I
guy
know that that was-
knows what's about to happen.
Josh told him, didn't he?
Josh didn't tell me.
Be prepared.
I watched a few of them and I knew kind of what was happening.
You ready? You got yours?
Kinda. Yeah. No. You got yours?
I think so.
I'll let you go first then.
German Shepherd.
Okay. Explain. I don't know much about dogs.
And I'm thinking, like old world where they use the dogs to help, herd the animals around.
Was it a
and all
German
that.
Shepherd?
I don't know.
Oh,
Could
no.
Could
But
be.
that's what I'm kind of thinking about, like those dogs on the farm.
Yeah.
The farm dog that's out there with the guy that helps, and they're always herding the animals around. I was possibly gonna go for a red fox also, but at the last second I went for the dog that's on the farm.
There you go.
That's just like, and he's out there. You know how dogs are? They act like they're doing something very important all the time. Like they're overly, but at the same time they're just enjoying life.
That's right.
They have no idea they're working.
That's right.
So that's where I kind of came up with this. Like you got the dog out there that's herding the cattle, herding the sheep, but he's working, but he's not. He's enjoying what he's doing. He's like in his element doing
Right.
this. He's
Right.
I'm running, I'm doing all this, but they're loving it at the same time.
Yep.
So that's my spirit animal. It's kind of weak, but I think the explanation was better than the.
That's okay. Farm dog.
Old farm dog.
Yeah.
German Shepherd, right? What kind of dog would you guys have?
Well, so you stole a little bit of my thunder there. I've been thinking about this, and we use border collies.
Border collies.
On our farms. We have herding dogs that help us. They're as good as a couple guys. When they're good, when they're bad, they're really bad, and it's everything's going to hell. But I kind of feel like a border collie.
Yeah.
And that we're going in a million directions, focused on a million different things, but trying to accomplish something, and not always getting it done the way we thought it was going to get done. But eventually, it probably will get there. But I feel like a border collie just because we're going a million directions and trying
That's
to
what
get
I was
things
thinking.
done.
I just could not remember. I just didn't know what type of dog it was. 'Cause
Well,
I'm
there's
so illiterate
so
to farming.
we use border collies, but you're probably thinking of those farm dogs that think they have a job, that are just laying laying up there and going, oh yeah, you need to get that done. Those are the kind of guys. Those are the kind of dogs that we have laying. We got a couple beagles that lay around and do that job.
Yeah, I've seen the beagles out on the farms a lot. I love beagles.
Yep.
All right, boss, what you got for him?
I'm going to say a dolphin.
There you go.
Here we go, a dolphin.
A dolphin because of the business partnerships that you've built. I said dolphin because I could be wrong. I think dolphins are
Highly
mammals.
sociable.
Yeah.
They're mammals. Well, they're the most social strategic animal on the planet. And they build relationships strongly with other herds. Or, I don't even know what their group is called. But
Herd of dolphins.
They go
We need
out.
to get better at it. We need to watch some National Geographic before we do this.
Well, I mean, I know what I'm trying to fucking say, all right?
I know how you feel. I was just over here calling this
All
man
right?
German Shepherd.
I know what they do, but I don't know what their group's called. But that's what they do. They go out and
A
they
slew?
mate. They mate, maybe.
Are they a pod?
A pod?
Is it a pod?
A
I think
pod? Yeah,
maybe that's a
that's
whale.
probably right. This man knows animals, so he's probably right. A pod of
Well, yeah,
dogs.
I say dolphin just because of the social aspect of it and the building of the brand and stuff like that with other, like,
Josh is on
partnership.
right now. Josh should be our when he's
Is
absent.
he calling?
No, he's watching.
Oh.
He should be like
He
our,
should call
you
and
know,
put
like
him a spirit animal. Put him up. What is he, Josh?
Well, I was
He
thinking
should.
he should be the guy that looks shit up, like on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, look
Put
that
that
up,
up. Yeah, put that up.
and provide us with links and stuff.
He's at work. He don't have time for that.
He's too busy working. Well, Boston, man, thanks for coming out and like really educating us on this. All the people that are at home, you heard the man.
Ridges Farm. Get some beef.
Yeah, get some beef and let's try this. We're gonna try it out at our house. I think that it's gonna be eating better. I think that's gonna be cost it's gonna be about the same after you're spending so much money on eating out, paying tips multiple times a day. It's crazy how much money we're spending on food.
Yeah, and I think you guys will actually notice a difference in the quality of what you're eating. And until you try it and until you get something like this, you really don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And,
right.
And we're incredibly grateful for all of our friends and family and customers of trusting us with that. And we certainly hope that we can grow the business a little bit. And we're grateful for you guys having me on today.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll probably be trying you out, and I'll do a little video on it and everything, let everybody know how it went, and hopefully our influence can bring some more people to light to that you guys even exist down here doing this.
Yeah.
You know, it's Dry Ridge, right?
Dry Ridge, that's right. Yep.
All the cows within 5 miles. Feeding them great. Loves the job. Loves what he's doing.
Yep.
Not just doing it for the profit.
It helps though.
Profits would be good. Let's
helps.
order some cows.
It helps.
All right, folks. Anything else, Richie?
That's it.
Guys, we are the Make Your Move podcast. This is what we do. We bring on people who are making their move, who've got that side hustle and are trying to turn it into their daily life. They're doing what they love rather than just doing stuff for a paycheck. See you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks, guys.